Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, it's lovely to be with you. Here's a quick thought for you from Philippians chapter 2. Why don't you turn to it, Philippians 2. While you're finding it, let me tell you, Philippians 2, the chapter, is a big chapter for Bible college students, and for theologians, because there's so much in it about Jesus, so much to debate or to discuss or to explore about the person of Jesus, the fact that he is God, he's also a man, and there's this whole mystery around Philippians 2 and the whole section, verses 6 down to 11, all about the life of Jesus, how he humbled himself and came to earth. Just that verse, he emptied himself, he humbled himself. I used to teach on that verse for 2 days long when I was teaching theology at Mattersea. So much to say. But let's read the first few verses and see if it has something to say to us today. If you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, says Paul, then just go to verse 2. Then make my joy complete. And then he starts to say how that's going to happen. By being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and purpose. And then verse 3, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. Your attitude should be the same as that of Christ. And then he goes on to talk about Jesus coming to earth. So isn't that fascinating? In this period of being isolated, self-isolation, it's a new one on me. It's a new one probably on many people watching this, to being confined. I think we should give thanks because we've got the privilege of being confined. We've got the privilege of social distancing because in some parts of the world, your house wouldn't be big enough for you to do that. In some parts of the world, you wouldn't have the affluence to have the ability to wash your hands, right? So even the things that we don't really like are all signs of the fact that we've been greatly blessed and are among the world citizens most rich. But sometimes, I guess we don't like isolation. We want to see everyone. We want to get out. We want to hug everybody and see everybody. It may be a novelty at first, but after a while you think, no, let me just get out. And here is the word of the Lord that comes into that. Do nothing out of selfish ambition. Don't do things because you want to do them, says Paul. Don't do that. And in humility, consider others better than yourselves. Prize the well-being of others above you, because he wants us to be like-minded, having the same love, one in spirit and purpose. He wants us to have unity. Now, most times when we talk about unity, what we really mean in church is unity normally in the church. So everyone gets on in church as best as they can. And then you have unity between the churches of the same type. And then you have unity of churches of like different flavors and types. And so, Lord, make us one. Bind us together, Lord. Bind us together. Anyway, sorry. So we think about unity like that. But here, in this season, we have to have unity with our fellow countrymen, don't we? We are part of a body of Britons at the moment, not just part of the body of Christ. It was J.B. Priestley, the wonderful playwright, who I think in the very, very early 20th century wrote a play called Inspector Calls. I studied it for O-levels. That's a bit like GCSEs, but they were hard. You know what I'm saying, kids? Anyway, in an Inspector Calls, Priestley, using the voice of the inspector in the play, refers to the family. It was a sort of a whodunit, the play, but they'd all done it. And he says to them, we're all part of one body. We are responsible for each other. And I want to encourage you, let's be one body, not just as Hope Church or as Christians together, but let's be one body with our countrymen. I have to think of myself that I might be a potential carrier, not just a potential victim of the virus. And so I keep away for my sake, but also for everyone else's sake. And here's the glorious thing, and with this I finish. Here's the glorious thing. By thinking of others more highly than myself, by not doing anything because of my own selfishness, by living in unity with everyone, and self-isolation really does sum up quite a few of those components. What I'm actually doing, verse 6, is I'm becoming more Christ-like. Think of being in self-isolation as becoming more like Jesus. I could do this and I could do that, but I choose, for the sake of saving others, to deny myself. May God help us as we live out the Christian life here, not by preaching, not by spreading the love of God, but by making sacrifices so that others might be spared and saved. It is the Christian thing to do. See you soon.